Okay, it's Thursday morning. We're all leaving the meeting place, heading towards the Richie Ranch. I'm supposed to be the caboose. Drive you down on the Richie Ranch with Terry, you'll definitely want to have a high clearance vehicle. Much bigger group today. We're at the Richie Ranch. Terry is telling all the newbies what to look for. And I am going to start wandering around out here. Head up this hill. See what I can find. You can see the vehicles down there. I've hiked up this little hill. And now I'm going to start looking a little more closely. This is the kind of stuff you can find around here. This is a beautiful jaspery type of rock. And I do like this stuff, but I probably won't be picking too much of it up today because I have so much at home. We find a lot of these little biscuits, broken little white biscuit nodules like this, like that. I'll pick some of these up, especially if I think I'm seeing either banding or color on the inside. That is what we have to look forward to, at least for the first half of the day. I've just spotted a couple of potential finds. First, there's this big buried rock right here, which sort of has a agate look to it. And then there's this biscuit right here, which, as you can see, it's mostly buried. Well, I say that. This could be a very small piece that's right on the surface. But what I'm hoping is that there's more to it. So let's try to dig this out here. Ready? We're gonna get lucky. Oh, not really, it's still pretty small. This is a West Texas biscuit and it looks kind of plain to me. Probably not worth keeping. What about this big guy here? Huh. I may have to put the phone down to work on this one, guys. This could be a big rock. Let me do that. Whew, after a couple of minutes of trying to dig it out, I decided to give up on this beast. It's way too big. I did chip some of it off, and it's probably a moss agate. You can see it there. That's what I chipped off, but this thing is enormous. There's my hand for scale. I can't even begin to get down around the corners there, so it's a big rock, and it's going to have to stay here, unfortunately. A couple of feet from that big rock, I spotted this laying right here. Easy pickings. Obviously a chalcedony nodule. Does it have anything? Is there banding in that? I don't know. This looks like it could be plain, but then again, I think I might be seeing something there, so in the bucket. Here's one I just picked up that had that white look on the surface, which usually indicates an agate. So I got it wet, and sure enough, it's an agate, and it looks like it has some red filaments in there. This could be an interesting one here. I think I'll keep it. I'm on top of this hill, walking through this little field of, I guess, rhyolite, basalt maybe? I don't know. I just picked up 4 of these little biscuits. So they're easy to find, but do I want to keep these? They're probably just plain on the inside. I mean, there could be some fine banding, but I'm really hoping to find something with color in it. I just noticed this little biscuit piece right here, which at least shows banding. Yes, you can see it right there on the end. Will it be big? Probably not. Nope. Look at that. It moved very, very easily. Doggone it. So I'm kind of striking out here today with my rock hounding, but the day's still young. Picked up a couple more of these biscuits, only because this one I got wet, and I could see that it has kind of a pretty pattern in there with some banding and a little bit of quartz right in the middle. I know there's not a lot of contrast, but that's how it goes out here with these biscuits. And so far, I haven't really found anything else interesting. Here are 5 biscuits that I collected, looked at each one and decided they were not worth keeping, and I was moving on when I saw this interesting thing right here. What is this? It is some sort of, well, it was a vesicle, you know, a gas bubble in the lava, which started to form. That looks like chalcedony. It was hollow in the middle with some bots in there. Now, is there any chance I could get that out without breaking it? I doubt it. But I'm gonna try. Let me see what I can do. I don't think there's any hope that I can get this thing out in one piece. I'll keep trying, but you can see it's really still embedded in this volcanic rock. But this shows you the potential of what you can find inside of these biscuits. Here's a little bot section here that broke off. Now, I don't know if there would be color in that, but if you notice, the chalcedony has that amber look. You see it's all around there. Wouldn't that be something if I could get that out? I'll try a little bit more, but honestly, I think it's going to take a few thousand more years for this to just erode out on its own. What do you think with a little persistence? I did get it out mostly. There were some breaks along the way. What do we think of this? I don't know. It's so weathered. That surface is so weathered. I don't know if there'll be any color or bending. This is the outside of the bubble, the vesicle. That's what was sitting in there. This is gonna be a lot of fun to do something with. I don't know, maybe, heck, I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna take this home, especially after spending 10 minutes getting it out. I think we have time for a quick cut in here. I was able to get this rock back home, get it in a bath of muriatic acid overnight, and then I cleaned it. This is what it looks like. Interesting, right? What do you think is behind those bots? What indeed? I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's interesting. Maybe I should just not do anything with it and keep it like this. What do you think? Or I could get it on a saw and cut into it just to see what's buried in there. Don't know. Let's get back to the video. There's where I just dug out that interesting little agate geode rock, and then over here I noticed this looks like it might have some red in it. This could be something. Obviously it might be very big, but let me go ahead and dig it out and let's see what this is. I think it was actually pretty deep. Here it is. I've got it out, and this is what I could see. I've got some water on it. It's hard to tell. It looks very fractured. But what I'm going to do is break off a chunk of this, try to find a clean edge, and let's see if it's some kind of moss agate. You can see it broke apart very easily. And notice the white, sort of the coating, the film where it broke. That means those fractures were filled with water or whatever. This is what a piece looks like wet. So sure enough, this is one nice size, colorful, mossy agate, but it's just fractured. So what I'll probably do is find one decent piece and take it with me, because this is good stuff. I'm definitely in a good spot right here. So just over there, about 5 feet, is where I found the interesting broken up biscuity thing. Right over there, you can see my pile, is that moss agate. And right here, I've got a couple of interesting biscuits. This one here looks like it might have some color. I'm more interested in this one right here because it's large and it's still somewhat submerged. Let's see if we can get this out easily. Oh yeah, it comes out. So here is a biscuit that might have something inside of it other than just the plain white chalcedony. These two, for the first time today, excite me about biscuits. Honestly, I shouldn't get too excited though, because right next to where I found it, here is one in situ that looks like it would have been just nothing but a quartz bomb. So I'm probably in for disappointment when I cut these, but oh well. It's the anticipation that I enjoy. Still, this is a really good spot. Not 2 feet away, I saw this one. Now, can I get that one out? I couldn't just grab it with my finger and pull it out. That means I'm going to have to get the hammer. Let me see what I can do. Got it out. Thank you, hammer. It's a nice sized biscuit. Can't tell what's going to be on the inside. Maybe a quartz bomb, maybe just plain, but who knows? We'll find out soon. Right over there is where I just found those larger biscuits. A couple feet away, I see something right here in the ground. A big chunk of chalcedony, maybe? Will it be a big one? I don't know. Ooh, maybe. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Well, not huge. And this one may may just be one of those plain ones. But still, it's always fun to find them anyway, right? This must be an area of the Richie Ranch where no other rockhounds have been, because I see these all over the place, these biscuits. I mean, this is crazy. Not that they're great biscuits. I don't want to fool you into believing that, but they are just everywhere. This is crazy. I'll go through these and see which ones are decent for the channel, ones that can be cut. Maybe some of these will be tumbled. All I know is there are a bunch of them around here. For all you non-believers out there, I literally just made about a, I don't know, a 30-foot circle right around here, came back, and this is what I collected as far as biscuits go. You ready? Wow. Oh my goodness. This area has definitely not been hit by another rockhounder. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these. I don't think I need every one of them. And then I was thinking about it. What we're going to do, we're going to have a video coming up in the future, maybe a few videos, where I do nothing but cut these little West Texas biscuits. Honestly, I ended up taking, I think, just about every one of them. Here are a couple I noticed that look like they will be interesting. Here you can see banding, yeah, banding. And this one just looks crazy. So again, keep an eye out for a video where I do nothing but cut these biscuits. That's the area where I just found all those biscuits. I started walking down and I noticed this white stone. What is this? This looks like it is, well, it's definitely a chunk of chalcedony. Doesn't really look like a biscuit, but it probably is. They all form this way. This is big enough where we can get it home and get it slabbed. I'm just walking around all this volcanic rock, spotting these little white agate rocks. Here's a little biscuit, which looks like it's going to have banding in it. Check it out. They're very easy to spot. Yep. Oh, I think I see a big one. And there's the highway that takes you down to Terlingua, the Big Bend National Park. It's beautiful out here. Picked up 2 more of these biscuits along with this, what appears to be a very old horseshoe. I'm no expert. What do you guys think? Does anybody know how to identify really old horseshoes? I think this one's really old. Out here in the desert, still looking like this. It's probably, gosh, 100 years old. Who would have brought a horse up here? Holy cow. Ooh, there's that big agate. I gotta go check it out. Okay, enough playing around with horseshoes. Here's that big old agate I spotted from a mile away, and it looks like there's one there and one there as well. Ooh, now see, that excites me right there. I believe that once we slab this one, oh yeah, we're gonna see some beautiful stuff. This is a good agate, I believe. What about these other 2 that were living in the shadow of that big one? Let's start with this here. Can't tell much. Actually, this one looks like it might be interesting. I'll have to clean that up, but I think I'm seeing maybe some color in there. And then what about this one here? Ooh. Ah, there we go. It's nice when they don't just pop right up. Oh, look at that. That's going to be a moss agate, I think. You see that red in there? Sure. Yeah. Nice little haul. I think that horseshoe brought me some good luck. Once I cleaned these 2 smaller ones a little bit, I realized they went together, and in fact they are, look at that, moss agates, just as predicted. Well, I should say a moss agate that has suffered a very traumatic break. It's not just biscuits out here I'm finding. Here's an example of a mossy rock. Yeah, look at that. This will be a good one to maybe cut, drop. I don't know. They're just beautiful rocks, so maybe cut and tumble this one. Spent several more minutes just rummaging around here. I found this big old chunk of a jasper-like material that has eroded out and tumbled down this far. You can see it looks like a jasper agate right there. Unfortunately, this looks very fractured, so I probably won't take it. It's pretty stuff though. I want you to see this. Now this is a perfect example of where these biscuits come from. It's still stuck in there. You can see it had quartz and chalcedony over there. I might try to get this one out. Yeah, let me do that. You know what? With the help of a chisel, it's actually not that hard. Here it is. That looks like it might be interesting. This is what's left. There's still some there, a little bit there, but I got the meat of it anyway. That means in the bucket it goes. It's crazy what you can find. I was just walking a few feet to a new location to set the bucket down, and I found this giant chunk of, look at that. It's a beautiful jaspery type material. Some more there. Way too big for me. Just goes to show you what's out here though. Before I move on from this side, I may have to try to get some. I broke an edge off. I want you to see, if it's possible in this desert sun, look at the shade of green. That's a fresh edge right there. So we have red, yellow, and green. Wow. There's several pieces around here. I might just have to find one to take home and slab. I'm gonna have to seriously think about this stone here. I just got a couple of smaller pieces chipped and then moistened. Look at the colors in that. That green. Ooh. I may have to try to work on this rock here. Wow. Woo. Okay. It's officially too big for me to possibly get it out. This thing is giant. I'm still not even down to the edges yet where I can start to try to pry it out. That is one magnificent piece of, I'm just gonna call it jasper. With all this volcanic rock, it's no wonder we find this type of amygdaloidal basalt with these beautiful little pieces of chalcedony. Earlier this week, I referred to this as lightning stone, but then I thought about it. I think they call these galaxy stones. This one has some stuff in it, but as you can see, a lot of these pockets are devoid of the good stuff. I had to put my hammer down for a second and show you what I'm seeing here. This area is just loaded with those tiny biscuits that have been eroding out of these vesicles. Every one of those little light gray things you see are biscuits. Some of them, like that one, actually looks pretty interesting. You can see that they're just eroding out of these rocks like that. Cool. I'm gonna grab a few of these. Check out this seam right here. You see it has quartz, a little bit of banding as well. Plenty of chalcedony. Is it a seam or is it just maybe a large biscuit? I don't know. Let's see if it moves. Oh, ooh. Ooh. Free plant with this one. I see some host rock right there. I think this is going to be just a chunk of the basalt. But let me try to clean it up. Well, it's definitely a quartzy seam. I don't know if this host rock would be useful in the lapidary shop. It is kind of cool though. If that host rock, which I don't know, could be rhyolite, basalt, whatever. If that takes a shine and we slab this thing, that might make a good looking slab. What do you think? Here, check this out. Another seam. Now this one probably, well, that looks like rhyolite to me as well. It might take a polish. Is it worth it? Probably not. I'm just seeing this sort of one area right here, which is mostly quartz, to be quite honest. This side looks interesting, but I don't think it's interesting enough to lug it back to the truck. What you see here is a broken up chunk of some sort of agate material. Look at that. That looks like maybe a biscuit wannabe right there. Will there be enough here to play with? Let's see. We'll start with this and not really. How about this piece here? Well, now this, that looks like it's just about all agate, so I might take that piece. And, oh, yeah, that was just a biscuit in the making right there. We'll leave that, we'll leave it here, let nature do its thing, and eventually it'll just be laying out here with the rest of them. It's 12:30. I've got to start heading back to the meeting spot. We're going to take off at 1 and go somewhere else. I spotted this one, which made me stop in my tracks. It's a biscuit, but notice this one, you cannot tell what's going to be on the inside. It's completely encased. These are the most fun. They could just be quartz bombs. Although I think I might see chalcedony in there. But like I said, these are the best ones. If you can find them like this and get them home, they usually will surprise you. It's after lunch. We've moved to a new location on the Richie Ranch. I'm gonna try my luck heading up over the hill and only pick up good stuff this time. I got plenty of biscuits to last me a lifetime. I know, I said no more biscuits, but how could I not get this one? Look, it seems to have like a sagenitic thing going on there. The inside appears just to be quartz, but this shell looks really interesting. So I think I'm gonna take this home and do something with it. This looks a little more interesting than just your everyday run-of-the-mill biscuit right here. It looks like I'm seeing some banding. How big is this going to be? Let's, oh, not very big. Yeah, still, I think this is a good chunk of chalcedony. I believe this is good enough to take with me. There I was, just minding my own business, walking up this hill, when all of a sudden I spotted this colorful beauty right here. Look at that. Ooh. Ha! This is awesome. Well, there's a big fracture there. I think there's gonna be more of this. I need to chase this up the hill, see where this came from. Oh, I'm just out here walking around, enjoying myself, and I spotted this. Looks like it might be some sort of big agate. Is it? Ooh, oh, it's big. Oh, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Yeah. Let me clean this up a little bit and we'll take a closer look at it. I'm honestly not sure what kind of agate this is, but it's really pretty. It's like a white opal-y material with lots of little like filaments, colors in there. Oh, this will be a lot of fun to get home, get in the shop, and slab. If you decide to come out here to the Richie Ranch to do some rock hounding, which I highly recommend, don't do what I do and wear some whimsical socks just because you think it's cool. So I've got on my clown socks here. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm getting all sorts of little pricky things that every time I step, I'm getting little pinches. Not very comfortable, so be sure and wear high top boots out here, hiking boots. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm working my way back up this hill, and I've already spotted a couple of nice rocks that should be big enough to slab. Here's more of that beautiful jasp agate like we found earlier today. And then check this one out here. This big old agate with all the bots in it. Yes, this would be a fun one to open up and see what's inside. I'm walking back towards the truck now. I realized that I had made my way back around where earlier today I found that giant piece of jasper. It was just right back there. And I'm glad I did because I wanted to get more of that. When we had a lunch break, I showed Terry the piece that I'd found, and she said the green is actually opalized. And I know what she's talking about now. Here's another chunk I just picked up. Now see, this is not wet, but it has that wet look. And I think that's why we're calling it opalized. It's really pretty stuff. Look at the size of this one here. It has some fractures. I did hammer it quite a bit to get rid of the obvious fractures. And I'm having to carry it because my bag is already full. The truck should be just over this hill. The day's winding down. Got another hour or so. I'm just in this field wandering around and I spotted this colorful beauty right here. Look at this thing. It has At least 5 different colors that I can see, plus you got your chalcedony. I imagine this will turn into one of those "how well will it tumble" videos. It's another beautiful day. Just beyond my truck, you can see Sul Ross University. That's Alpine's little university. And then, of course, the mountain ranges. Tomorrow, we're going to be down near the Mexican border, so it's going to look a little different. Thursday's hunt is now officially in the books. I found a lot of stuff here. It surprised me. I actually think I found more here than at the other 2 ranches where I've hunted over the last 3 days. Mostly because, as you saw, some of the pieces I found were large slabbing pieces. Well, tomorrow we head down south to East Needle Peak. That's near the Mexican border, down there near Big Bend National Park. I'm actually going to drive down there tonight and stay in Studi Butte, which is just next door. So I'll catch you over there. Who's laughing now at my clown socks? Dadgummit, won't be wearing these again.